Good evening, everyone. Tonight on Lizarella Phone's Home, we're going to return to some Earth 1 history and talk about the conflicts between the remaining Earthlings, terrestrial human beings left on Earth, and their brothers who blasted off into space in hopes of finding something better, something they had not yet destroyed. Now, here, I'm joined by Major HAP RINKER. HAP RINKER? Of the who has one of my favorite things that the elderly do on Zoom, which is I can hear myself. Major HAP. Hello, HAP. HAP, hello. Hello, HAP. Hi, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Yes, you're live, sir. No, I think you're on. You should turn off the stream on your end and just talk to me here, I think. If you oh, hang on. I gotta I can't hear you. One sec. One sec, sir. I'm embarrassing myself. No. Yeah. You have no reason to be embarrassed. All right, one sec.
Before.
Okay, there we got it. I think
we got it, sir.
All
right, I'm here.
Hello?
Hello? I think we got it, sir. I think we can hear you. Here. Speak.
Hello.
Hello?
Here, we'll
We'll
check.
check if we hear you on yourself.
Can you hear me?
I hope so.
Hello.
Yes, we got you. Oh, there we go. We got you. You're here.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me down there?
Yes, we can hear you down up.
Where
are you?
What do
you mean by down there?
Can you hear me?
Where are you calling in from, sir?
Say that one more time, young lady. I can't quite hear you.
Where are you calling in from, sir?
I have a lot of damage in my on the left side of my face. It affects my hearing and my kind of spatial awareness.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm very sorry if I'm waylaying you at all.
Oh, I don't know what that word means, but you're not, sir.
I think that it's on me that we waylaid. And I am just grateful to have you here.
Oh, well, the pleasure's all mine. It's not often I get to talk to a nice young person like this.
Oh.
And yeah, can I say I'm very impressed to have someone your age still interested in talking to us, because we were there and we were a part of it, and it's just great to be recognized.
Yeah. Well, so we're calling in. We have some viewers who are not particularly familiar with Earth history. We've talked a little bit about the split between the terrestrials and the ruling class who failed is perhaps how you would put it. But we haven't talked a lot about the conflicts prior, the conflicts at the same time, the conflicts presently even. So I guess let's start. Do you want to just introduce yourself a little bit? Where are you from? What do you? Yeah.
I am from where am I from? That's correct. That's your question.
Yeah.
Bro. Sorry.
Well, let me see. Where am I from? I feel like I'm really from just Earth. Earth is my home. I'm not sure what you would refer to it as now, or if there's even the same kind of places and place names available in your parlance. I suppose I spent my young life in one of the cities there, the tower cities.
With the tower cities.
Yeah. What are they called? God damn it, I can't remember. You probably know better than me.
Okay. So
you gotta help me. It's been a long time. And I think I already said at the top of the program that I have significant hearing damage on the right side. That was how I got my first medal. I don't know if you can see. That was my first wound badge, was for catching a frag right near my face. I was able to help my friend Ring out of a tight jam, but I did lose the right side of my hearing. So
that's horrible, sir. That's a crazy thing to imagine, my friend. Jesus. Okay. So in the Lizarella universe, as we are constructing it, I wonder. Okay, so
what does this mean, constructing? What are you constructing?
We're constructing a better world, Major Rink.
Oh, okay.
And that was a part of that's been your mission for your entire life. As soon as you became conscious, was to construct a better world. Now, something that you told me that was interesting was that you were involved in some, it's interesting that you lost your hearing, because the combat that you were actually involved with was primarily through Instagram infographics, shot back and forth across space-time to do psychic damage to the population. Do you want to?
Oh no, and the psychic damage is hard on you.
Yeah.
It's hard on you. It feels real. It was real to us. You can't tell me it wasn't real. I was there.
Well, yeah. I mean, the psychology is real. Psychology is real.
Yes. Yes, it is.
How about, will you tell us a little bit about who you were fighting against? We're talking tech billionaires. We're talking
those were mean bastards. Yeah, who else were we fighting?
All of their girlfriends and boyfriends who had swords and katanas.
The girlfriends we were scared shitless of. I'll tell you why. The boyfriends, not so much. And a lot of people don't really understand that.
No.
But it was, yes, they were, mean little buggers. Yeah. And let me just say about the billionaires, that the things that we grew up with, I mean, you couldn't even imagine it. By the time that,
grew up with?
Well, the things that they put us through, it was used to be that we lived. What was the question again? I'm very sorry.
No, it's okay. Tell us a bit about what life was like growing up. So Server City, these were cities, tall cities made of plastic containing
Server City, god damn it, yes. The server cities, that's where I grew up, in one of the server cities. And it was we didn't really notice anything being odd when we were young, because it was just what we knew. And yeah, we didn't really want for anything. My father worked he worked at Quiznos, I believe it was. He was a site manager. And then my mother, and part-time, she used to milk spiders to make instrument strings.
Did you say spiders?
Yes, she used to milk spiders to make
holy
very delicate strings for violas primarily, and occasionally guitars, but not electric guitars. You needed heavy steel strings for that. Yeah, I had an electric guitar with me in my barracks, and I used to send songs home to my sister.
Oh my God, well, that's lovely.
Yes, there was, it was the spirit of the time. But you were asking about my my childhood. Was that it?
Yeah. So you were growing up inside of this like smart plastic city with your family working incredibly hard, making spider strings and at internal Quiznos. So when did conflict? When did life really change in Server City? When did the revolution pop off? Such. How old were you?
Well, I was young and ambitious and idealistic, like most of us were, and it was about then. I believe I was 19, but I lied. I said I was 18, and I joined the army. I wanted to join the army through Roblox. Is where I learned. Is where I was recruited, and it's been a blessing, in many ways.
That's wonderful.
Yes, it is. It's where I learned how I could. It's where I learned to shoot a gun in Roblox. It's also where I learned whether or not I could live with myself when the time came to take a life, to kill another man. And, I learned that I might just have what it takes.
That's crazy. We've been talking on the show a little bit about the ethics of killing a man.
Interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Have you heard of Gypsy Rose Blanchard, Major Rink? Is that a legend you recall from the 2020s?
The 2020s. No, I can't say I was very connected to that story.
No.
No.
All right. Well, so tell us. You were stationed.
She was a gypsy woman, you said?
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay, Zach.
Excuse me.
Okay, Major Ring. Will you?
No, you said something. You were saying something about gypsies, and I agree with you.
Yeah. Will you tell us?
I'm not sure what it is you're trying to say.
No, I got
but
you. I think
I feel like I agree.
All right. Will you tell us a bit about being stationed in your barracks? Where was the barracks located? Because Server City, from what I understand, is really like a big mall. So, where was the front? Where were you?
Yeah, I believe that Spencer's Gifts had transitioned to solely a military function at that point in time, and they built us a Quonset hut that was essentially a Spencer's Gift. My bunkmate slept next to the penis lollipops, and we would always kind of make fun of him for that. The Spencer's Gifts, yeah. They left Spencer's Gifts in the barracks after they converted it. So we were in there. We were just kind of making do with whatever we had. And I was stationed there for just in peacetime rotation, getting used to things. And it was after 9/11 too that I joined up. I knew I knew I had to do something. I knew things were going to hell. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, some I listen. I don't know if this is a political show, but I have some opinion. It seems like it might be. Can I share with you what I think about 9/11/2? What really happened there? Well, they had 9/11/1, right? And 9/11/2, 9/11/2 was kind of like twice as bad as 9/11/1. That's why they called it 9/11/2. There were four. There were exactly four towers, and I guess just as many airplanes that would make it. Four airplanes, four towers, lots of yes, and that's why I want to talk to you about 9/11/1. And sometimes it's hard to talk about 9/11/1 now, knowing what we know about 9/11/2. So, well, it was it was a big wake up call. I think at that point we already knew um, that this kind of thing was only going to benefit one type of person, which I'm sure you're aware of what I mean by that. Um, but yes, so it was very ideological that we actually took control of the Spencer's gifts, and we essentially did a soldier strike. We refused to fight and die in another rich man's 9/11. So there were we were all vaguely aware of what was going on, and we were all pretty well organized. We were buddies. Yes. Dialect. What do you dialectical? What do you mean by dialectical? I don't understand the question. There are seems like you've lost a couple viewers here. I'm sorry. I I'm very sorry about that, young lady. I know you're trying to do something nice, and maybe this isn't quite the quite the tale that these people were expecting. I don't know what goes for entertainment these days. I I've been down on the ground my whole life. What do they do up there in space now? Is there still oh, my granddaughter always showed me those TikToks dances
Say
and
that again.
and
Start again there, Major.
The TikToks. Is that still? Do they have that where you are?
No, they don't. Was TikTok important to you when you were fighting in Spencer's gifts?
Not when. Not. I'm sorry. God. I have another. Well, that was the second time I got wounded. It affected my whatever the goddamn thing is that makes you spit. It affected that. And now sometimes I salivate so much that I have to swallow very hard, you see. And I'm not trying to be rude. I'm not trying to avoid your question.
Oh my God, no. You can avoid my question, sir.
TikTok was it was I can avoid your question, but I won't.
Did you do any TikTok dances?
Well, my daughter liked the dances. That was actually, it was during the war. We used to send each other TikToks. Yeah.
No, yeah, because this was the Revolutionary War happening between terrestrial humans and extraterrestrial humans to catch everyone up. We have Major RINKER here from
TikTok
Server City 1, 2. What number Server City were you in, sir? Do you remember?
Oh, I was there when they first built Server City. I was in Server City. Yeah. That's how long ago it was.
Chat says that the thing that makes you spit is your uvula.
No, I don't think that's what it was called. I don't think that's what it was called. It was, well, anyway, the TikToks were the way that we communicated, you know, just like in the trenches, they used to send letters and postcards home. We would just exchange TikToks. At this point, no one really knew how to write, you see. So it was a way of, you know, it was the only way we had of expressing ourselves to one another. And we used to string together beautiful stories, beautiful letters from home. That's what kept me going when things got really bad.
Do you recall any, like, specifically? Or you know, what music was trending at the time that you would use? What
music was trending? Oh, you know, the old time stuff. We used to have this one song that was like it was about, I'm sorry, this is sort of embarrassing for me to say in front of you. It was about a woman's ass, I believe. There were lots of songs like that, and I got a kick out of those. You know, my colonel also got a kick out of that stuff. He was a good man. I only knew him for 4 days before he, you know, was taken from us. But yeah, that was, he was a good man.
What happened to him?
Made him laugh all the time. Well, you see, when I said that I knew when the time came that I would be ready, he was not. He hesitated and was taken out by a stray, you know. He couldn't get down in time. And I think that if he had had the courage to do what he needed to do at that time, he would still be here. We killed the guy who killed him.
Oh, yeah,
of course. But and that was the first time that I ever had to bury an officer and a friend.
Oh my god. Well, you were talking about how since no one knew how to read, you were only communicating via TikToks. Could you tell us a bit more about like the culture between revolutionaries in your group?
Well, we were all there in Spencer's Gift, you see, and that's sort of where our base of operations became. We controlled about a third of Server City by well into it, but and that was when things started getting really nasty, you know. But back in the old days when we were just sleeping in Spencer's, you know, none of us had ever seen a woman before, so we were really just in there together all the time. And yeah, I mean, I bonded with my men in more than just as comrades.
In like a gay way. So as comrades, you would say.
Yes, I suppose you. I don't want to get too political on the show, but I suppose you could say that. Yeah, it was. You know, it's intense facing death together.
Yeah.
Let's just say that if I had a nickel for every man's penis that I saw in Spencer's Gift, I would have a few dollars.
That's amazing. That's really romantic. And wonderful.
It is.
Oh, that's nice of you to say.
Well,
they didn't like it back then, I'll tell you that much.
No, they were homophobic during this war?
Yes.
I guess.
That's all there really is to say about it.
Okay. So you guys were kind of pulling it together in Spencer's gifts, finding supplies. But at the same time, there were corporations operating that were supplying the enemy with, fucking bombs and missiles, which are really loud inside of a plastic city. Really not a great place to set things off. I don't know. Do you want to talk about some other battle memories? Major?
Besides the sucking of the dicks?
Yeah. Well, you can keep going on about that if you'd like.
No, that's quite. I believe it speaks for itself.
Yeah.
Well, what did you know about what happened in Server City? Did you know that in the original Server City there were 5 Spencer's gifts, not a block from each other, and we organized in there, and that was where the very first kind of battlefront opened. Do they talk about that in school?
No.
Where you're from?
No. This is all news to me. I'm learning all of this because I crashed on Earth recently. And I must say that you are a shock.
On Earth.
Yeah.
You're on Earth.
Currently, yeah. I'm not telling people where, but yeah, I am. Do you have any recommendations of where I should go?
Well, God bless you and good luck in your journey on this terrestrial surface. I would tell you where to go if I knew where you were.
Facts. Well. I do have a spaceship, so I could go. Have you ever been off of Earth, sir? Probably not.
Probably not. Probably not.
I'm not sure, though. How do you feel about the human beings who are creating life off of Earth? You can get political here. Sir.
I suppose that if I were in their position, I would have done the same. I would have done the same. There's really not much to be saved here on Earth, And at that time, I think if I had not known that there was a time before that it would have been harder for me to see that something was wrong. But we were at just the right age to see that something was wrong. And so we took matters into our own hands. And like I said, there was a lot of disagreement over strategy. There were a lot of different groups. Did I say that? I don't remember.
You didn't. Maybe a little bit. What are some ideological rifts, or was there any? Were you just?
Well, there was one group that just wanted to make all the stores Subway. That's all they cared about. They wanted to just push everything out and turn every stall into a Subway. And there was another group that said there's no way you could responsibly carry out that order to turn every storefront into a Subway. There's no way they would survive. So there were people who disagreed with that. I was rather uninvolved in the issue, but our front, we wanted the billionaires to respect us and our ability to buy what we wished from these stores. It was very hard in those days.
Did you end up working in a store?
Advertising had advanced into some kind of somatic, inoculation, where they would play. The ads would leave a kind of like worm in your brain, right? Not physically, of course, but the ad reads would get stuck in there, and then you would have dreams, and it was becoming so hard to resist the consumption patterns that they dictated. But we wanted, I guess you could say, more liberal consumption patterns, and that was really the crux of it.
What would you call a liberal construction pattern?
Consumption was the word I used. Yes, yes. well, we wanted to be able to choose like we used to be able to choose, you know. And that was the real that was one of the issues, right? The other issue was the subway people were totally out of control, and we needed to deal with them first before they ruined the whole idea that we had.
Oh yeah. Was that
if Server City had been nothing but subways?
No, it'd be Subway City.
It would be Subway. That's right. That's what we said back then.
My friend Major, I'm gonna have you come in and out of the Zoom because I have a free account. Does that bother you?
Free account? Is that what you said?
Yeah, a free account of Zoom. So you're gonna have to log in and out again, sir.
Free accounts.
And then we'll be
back. How long
have
we been talking now?
We've been talking for like 40 minutes. Do you want to keep going, or are you out of energy?
Oh, less than 1 minute. How do I come back? I don't have a lot of energy these days.
Oh, of course.
Yes, we've been through a lot, but yeah, I would continue talking if there are still people interested.
Oh yeah.
We have 5 viewers now.
There you go. Isn't that nice? Is that encouraging?
That is nice. It's nice. God bless all of you for taking an interest in your heritage.
He's such a fucking okay. Okay. Yeah. Now we just wait for. There he is. There's our boy. How's the audio, folks? Hello. Mr. RINKER? Mr. RINKER. Good morning.
Yes, I'm back.
Hello. Yay.
Very sorry. When I tried to call you back, I opened Venmo.
Oh, yeah?
That was very distressing for me, yes.
Did you send anyone any money?
No, I hope to God not.
Yeah.
I hope to God not. I don't have much to send, But anyway, what were we talking about before you broke for commercial? Is that what it was?
Yeah, we broke for commercial.
Yeah.
And we were talking about your time in the Revolutionary Army Earthlings First.
Earthlings First. That's what we were called. Yes. Yeah. I mean, Yes, what would you like to know? What was you had a follow-up question, I think. We talked about 9/11 too. We talked about my major. He was a good man. What else do you want to know? Oh, I believe we were talking about the subway militias, and well, we knew we had to deal with them, and so we basically went in there and did what we had to do. We did our duty, cleared them out. And it was a nasty business. But once we dealt with them, we felt like it was time to start. There were bigger fish to fry, and we went after. Oh God, what was his name? He was an arms dealer. He sold to both sides in the war. He was a slippery bastard. President Trump called him the greatest traitor in our history, in the history of Server City.
President Trump called him that?
Yes.
Interesting. The greatest traitor. Was it, here, let me see. I sent you a funny name earlier.
You sent me something earlier?
Oh, Gorthrop Numhand. Gorthrop Numhand.
Oh, Gorthrop Nubham. Nubhammed? Is that what his name? Oh, we used to call him Gloomy Gorp. Yeah, he was a real wise ass,
Gloomy Gorth?
Gloomy Glor. Yeah, his name was Glorthlup.
Will you tell us some I don't know, what are some interesting new weapons technologies you were able to play with?
Gloomy Glup. Well, like I said, we did our basic training in Roblox, and most of that functioned the same way. We would never actually, physically enter these places we were fighting over. It was usually in a digital proxy via Roblox, and that's sort of how we would gain the edge in the battles. If we were able to just get them off the Roblox server completely, then we had done our job, and they could no longer be a serious threat to us. After the subway people were dealt with, there was then an interest in my God, what was it called? Something. It was some kind of some kind of fucking Mexican thing. I don't know.
What the fuck?
What was it called?
What are you saying? Server City? Is that what you mean?
It's Server City.
Yeah.
And it was but now, so now hold on.
You were battling on Roblox. Right?
Yeah. Yes, that's where most of our combat was fought.
Okay. What does that look like? Are there hundreds of thousands of people?
It looks like Roblox. It looks like the most fucked up thing you've ever seen on Roblox. It looks like World War III on Roblox, or 9/11 2 on Roblox. It's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your life. It's a world war, and so it was quite massive. The population of Server City was something like 8 billion. That's 8 billion users and avatars, just annihilating each other in total war over and over again.
Do you die in real life if you die in Roblox in this scenario?
What was that? Ask that one more time.
If you die in Roblox, do you die in real life in this scenario? Like, did you get your ear blown off in Roblox and now you don't have your ear?
I got my ear blown off when I took a frag, and that really happened.
That was in real life. That was not in Roblox.
Yeah, that was yeah. Yeah, what happens in Roblox stays in that's the first rule of Roblox.
That's the first rule of warfare. That's the first rule of post-modern warfare.
Roblox stays in what happens in the war stays in the war, and yeah, so it was pretty fucked if you ask me. But anyway, you were asking about Building 7.
Yeah.
In 9/11 1, right?
Not 2.
Not
what
2?
happened in 2?
Well, we had 9/11 and 9/11-2. Mm-hmm. And then here's the thing about that. Mm-hmm. Is that neither of them happened. And we knew it the whole time. We knew it the whole time. And they called us crazy, but yeah, that's what it was really about for us. We knew the truth.
Do you mean they happened in Roblox?
They happened in Roblox, and it was a goddamn massacre. And that's when I knew I had to do something. So like I said, I joined up. Well, I was already in, but I made sure that I was on that first
you were in that first Spencer's Gifts.
I was in that first Spencer's Gifts. I made sure I was there and that I made it to the lobby early before the game was ready to go. Because I wanted to be there. I wanted to be in. We all did.
Earlier you were talking a little bit about making music during your time. You know, soldiers in war are also artists, and so did you make war music throughout? Did you make war music throughout the war, sir?
I didn't think you would ask me about this, but
did you have a stage name?
I just in case, I do have an instrument with me, because I had a feeling that you might ask about this.
Okay.
But this is
Okay.
Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on 1 second. Let me see if I have it here. Feel free to keep talking.
I mean, here, how about this? Thank you, everyone. You know, we're joined here by Major HAP RINKER. First, what would you say your position was in the war? Because you have a position when you're in the war, don't you?
Yes, I led a small platoon of around 6 to 8 is what I sort of became squadron leader. I suppose I was a sergeant and then later promoted to major. But that was after the fighting was mostly done.
Yes. And Major RINKER was fighting on the terrestrial side of the, I guess we'd call it the post-launch Revolutionary War between terrestrial and extraterrestrial humanity.
Post-launch, yes, that's what it was.
And what were you getting just now?
Well, you asked about the music that we listened to. That's what it was. And I just want you to understand something about this, that it's very hard for me sometimes. But let me see if I can do this.
Okay. Let me know if you need technical assistance. Major? Are you playing us something on your iPod Touch?
In the bread, dynamite, drink nothing, folks, but that is nice. Back in that cycle, where the fellas be the back end, the women would be wacky. You got ways to entertain and hurry, back in that cycle, where the fellas be the back end, the women would be wacky.
And yeah, that was a song that I recorded.
Okay.
And it was about the major whose life was lost in my arms, like I told you before.
Yeah. You remember his name?
Very hard for me to play that.
Oh. Will you tell us his name? Do you remember?
Standard.
Standard? Major Standard? All right, sir.
That was his name. Yes. He was a goddamn good man.
Oh. What were the supply lines like at Spencer's Gibbs? What did you eat?
We ate whatever they had in Spencer's Gifts, which is not very dignified, most of it, the food. But yeah, we were mostly eating novelty candies and mints, many of them phallically shaped. And it was a badge of honor that we wore, you know. We were the Dick Brigade, and we went through that mall, and no one could touch us. No one could touch us. The subway guys didn't stand a chance.
Wow.
My friend Yager, he was
Yager. Spit it out. What did Yager do?
Young lady, I'm so sorry. I really just, it's very hard for me, the injury that I've sustained.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend any of your listeners. Yes, my friend Yager, he was also a good man. And when he was so green when he got into the army, he didn't even know how to load his gun. And I kind of took him under my wing and showed him what to do. And I remember the first time that I chambered the bullet, I handed it to him, and I looked him in the eyes and I said, "Now you carry a great responsibility. And if you level this at a man, you need to know what you're going to take from him."
In Roblox.
This was all in Roblox. This was happening.
Jesus.
And I watched Yager aim that rifle over the ridge of the trench we were in, and he fired that shot, and he took a man's life. And I said to him, "Yager, you have aimed your rifle and fired it with intent to do harm. You are now a soldier in God's army." 100% true. That happened on Roblox.
That's fucking crazy. That's crazy, Major. What an amazing thing.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
Good soldier.
It's a beautiful thing to watch
It's
a beautiful thing to watch a man or a boy become a man, we should say.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
In Roblox, usually.
Yes.
Okay. Were there women fighting with you? No.
We hadn't seen women in a very long time. I told you about the canoodling that was going on.
Do you know, like, were there women elsewhere? Do you know?
I don't know. Never seen one in my life, actually.
That's good.
You're the first young lady that I've even come within a stone's throw of, for all I know.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yes, we were all doing our duty. We were all doing what we had to do. We didn't have time. To kind of be normal boys and chase girls. We were living in the front from a time we were very young, and I mean, let's just say, as I've said before, if I had a nickel for every penis I touched in that war, I would be a rich man. I'll tell you that. And the same man, Hunter, that Jager. Well, that's what Jager means in German, Hunter. His name was Hunter Hero in German. It was beautiful. Jager. I don't remember what the word was for hero, but it was Jager something, and it was beautiful. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what your name is in German?
No. Lizarella?
Lizarella.
Do you know what my name is in German?
Do
you know German, sir?
Can't say I do. Can't say I do. Can't say I don't.
No. That's okay.
Reminds me of another song that I knew from the front. We used to play this.
Let's listen in.
We used to play this to get a kick from our colonel. He was a good man as well. Not as good as the major. So after the major died, I was obviously promoted to the major, and that's the rank that I still hold. But there was me, Jager, Hansen, Major Standard. He fell in action. God rest him. There was Mix, old Mix, and there was my friend Darnell. We all called him DVD for short because he loved DVDs. He used to watch. Yeah. He was one of my first friends who said, "You know what? To hell with streaming services. I'm gonna buy and collect DVDs like my grandfather did."
Very honorable.
And it's a very honest guy. Very honest guy. I really respected him for that.
So, from what I understand, human beings housed in server cities, when they're not working, are in like sleep pods. I guess you sort of got into that with this sort of advertising being a worm in the brain situation. So something else that I know about is Earthling First revolutionaries would crack open these sleep pods and let people out, and that's sort of where their numbers eventually came from. Do you have any tales about that?
Yes. Yes. Well, that was part of the deconditioning, It was all the time people were spending in the pods that was making them more susceptible to these dreams. And yes, we would have to go in and rather violently wake them up sometimes. But once you're out of your pod for even a short amount of time, it starts to become very obvious that there is more to life,
I bet.
So that was always the first step in kind of awakening consciousness, I guess you could say.
What was it like when you got out of your pod?
Well, again, I was born in a time before, when being in the pod was an option. And then there was this whole new generation that came after me, who that's all they knew. They had never gotten out. And so we had to teach them so that our revolution wouldn't die with us.
Wow. Well, that's a beautiful note to end on, maybe, a Major. Do you have anything else you'd like to add?
Do I have anything else I'd like to add?
Yeah.
Yes, there was one other song that I had from the war. Let's see. It
Stop to Ellen DeGeneres, you feel me? Why? Lil B. Ellen DeGeneres. Why? Ellen DeGeneres. Why? Ellen DeGeneres. Why? Ellen DeGeneres. Why? Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh, we used to listen to that before combat to get fired up. The whole server would go nuts. We were young men. We had a lot of bloodlust then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ellen DeGeneres. Right?
What do you know about? Do you remember what happened to Ellen DeGeneres?
No, I don't.
Ellen DeGenerate, we call her. Yeah, what happened to her? I believe she was executed by firing squad.
Was she set to leave Earth?
I believe they shot her like a dog in the street.
Holy shit. Okay, yeah. I'm going to describe a scene to you here, Major, that I think maybe you'll have comments on.
Oh, what?
So, when the billionaires launched off, I have some photos showing beside us on the stream, but what we call launch day or blast off day was sort of a music festival type of experience for normal human beings when the billionaires started to leave, and as you stated, some of them didn't really make it out. So do you want to talk a little, because that was a front in the war, supposedly. How'd you get the billionaires out of their rocket ships, and was that where you killed Ellen DeGeneres? What the fuck?
They got her before she even made it to the ship. Oh. They got her. There were several who didn't make it. They were high priority individuals. I believe she was a high priority individual.
Curious.
But I don't want to make the show too political. I know people have different opinions about that.
About Ellen DeGeneres?
Yes.
Yeah.
And how she was murdered by a gang of thugs in the road.
Oh my god.
Shortly before the hard launch.
And a hard launch it was.
Another one.
Sir?
There was another one that I remember Chelsea Peretti was she was stoned in the street. It was a goddamn catastrophe. And that wasn't on Roblox. That was real.
That was real life. That was in Brooklyn.
Really, a lot of people don't know.
That just happened in Brooklyn in like 2024. This is just regular people.
But yeah, things were different in my day, I tell you.
Yeah.
Tell you.
Yeah. Do we have any comments from the audience before we blow off, before we blast off?
Before we blast off?
Before we blast off.
I just want to say thank you for taking the time to hear me out. It's very important to talk about our history. And yeah, thank you for showing an interest, everyone.
Yeah, thank you for your service. Thank you for your service, Major. And
that means so much. That means so much for a nice young person to say.
Well, it means a lot to us that you're here sharing this, because none of us have been through this in Roblox or in real life, and the history that we're describing has not even come to pass yet. I don't know. It's amazing to explore these themes and these lessons about humanity and revolution and consumerism, liberal consumerism, and Roblox.
Well, thank you for your time. It's been a real honor to be, spoken to.
Yeah. Have a good night, sir.
Say that one more time.
Have a good night, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night.
Sleep well.
I'm sorry.
Love you. Love you so much.
Love you.
Well, everyone, that was our wonderful friend Major Rinker, revolutionary from Earthling First, the first server city revolutionary group to attempt to defend terrestrial man against extraterrestrial man. Ooh. What do we think? I could stream some Skyrim, or I could be done for the evening. I may be done for the evening. That was pretty good. I'm pretty happy. Thank you to Zach for coming on and performing with your whole ass out. I appreciate it. Thank you to everyone for your patience with my technological difficulties here. Zoom is hard, and having multiple mics going is hard. And I think I kept an eye on it at least a little bit. And also I didn't talk too much, but that's a good thing. Zoom is so hard. Because it's like I want to be in it over there, but I want the audio. I'll play with it. And at least it looks good. At least it's funny-ish, at the very least. Okay. Lizarella signing out. Next one next week, hopefully.